Mga ka-RSP, dahil tag-ulan na naman, karaniwan na ang mga pagbaha po sa iba't ibang lugar sa bansa. Kaya naman, iba't ibang programa po ang ginagawa ng gobyerno para matugunan ng matagal ng problemang ito ng ating bansa.
At dahil dyan, napapanahon pag-usapan natin ngayon, Dayan, ngayong umaga, ang tungkol sa flood control program na ginagawa ng Cavite ng gobyernong katuwang ang JICA o Japan International Cooperation Agency.
At kaugnay yan, makakasama po natin si Mr. Suji Kako, ang team leader ng CIA FRIMP o Cavite Industrial Area Flood Risk Management Project, at si Ms. Emelita Mimi Astaris, ang non-structural specialist ng CIA FRIMP. Good morning po, Kako-san. Ohayo gozaimasu. Mamimi, good morning po.
Magandang umaga. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, let's start with Kako-san. So what is the government project that addresses the issue of flooding and ensures the safety of the residents living along the riverbanks in Cavite? Tell us about this project.
Yes, basically, especially east north side near the Manila Bay. It's elevation around 2 meters below the sea level, below above sea level. Okay. We call the lowland area. So this area is always suffer from the low pressure and habagat and the typhoon. It is always caused by the water overflow, flooding, and not insufficient drainage system, and also high tide. So this is very always a low flooding area. That's what we study and conducting implementing about structure and non-structural measure.
All right, Kako-san, who will benefit from this project?
Basically, the residents around that area, we are trying to covering the reduce human casualty and also business people now.
So, Mr. Kako-san, what areas covered by this project and how will it affect or it will solve the problem in flooding, particularly in the rivers?
Yes, sir. This is actually the second project we are not ongoing now. First project is in the Imus River and Baco River. We already constructed 2 returning basins. This returning basin first time constructed in Philippines. It's try to catch the water. It's very much functional, effective now. And then ongoing now, we are going to do another work in that. It's called river improvement plus returning basin now for the different next area, covering the area.
Maybe also know who are the partners in this project?
The partner is basically our implementing office is DPWH.
PWH.
And also we have a conducting with concerned agency, 5 LGU plus provincial government, and also OCD and PAGASA and DILG and also concerned government agencies.
All right, we'll go back to you, Kako-san. Puntahan naman natin ngayon si Ma'am Mimi. All right, bilang non-structural measure specialist, tell us about the work that you do at kaugnay na rin po sa flood mitigation project na ito, lalo na po sa mga naninirahan po sa tabing ilog ba?
Ang non-structural measures ay ang counterpart measure ng structural. Kung sila ay gumagawa ng mga struktura para mabawasan ng pagbaha, yung magnitude ng flood, ang non-structural measures ay binabawasan ang vulnerability ng mga komunidad, ng mga tao laban sa risk na dulot ng iba-ibang hazard, particularly flood, typhoon, etc.
So let's talk about yung Cavite area po, ma'am. Kamusta po ba yung kalagayan po at epekto po ng pagbaha po sa lugar na ito?
Ito ay isang, over the years, magmula 2006, yung bagyong Milenyo, Ondoy, Habagat 2012, at Habagat 2013, at lately yung bagyong Paeng, sobrang pinsala ang nangyayari doon sa aming areas, Noveleta, Imus, Kawit, Bacoor, at General Trias, and also Rosario. So yung non-structural measures, kami talaga ay nakikipagtulungan at ang trabaho ay talaga sa community. Ini-involve yung community, yung mga tao, sa iba-ibang non-structural measures na dinidesign ng project, katulad sa emergency management, nandyan yung pag-strengthen namin ng organization sa communities at sa LGUs. Sinisigurado namin na nandoon yung mga DRRMO, mga planning offices para maisagawa yung project. Kasi yung aming talagang pangunahing layunin ay sustainability at continuity na kahit matapos yung project, ay tuloy-tuloy na magagawa ng mga LGU. Meron technology transfer. Isa sa mga projects or programs na ginagawa naman ay ang IEC. Talagang pumupunta kami sa mga eskwela, katulong ang DOST Pag-asa, yung basic knowledge about hydromet hazards, flood, tropical cyclones, talagang itinuturo sa mga grade 5, grade 6. Tapos may bago ring programa para sa high school. Also, tumutulong kami sa flood mapping para ma-identify yung mga, hindi lang yung mga hazard areas kung saan huwag magtatayo ng mga struktura. Tinutukoy din namin yung mga safe spaces para bago pa magbaha, makakapunta na dito, doon sa mga safe spaces. And sa farming communities, pati animal shelters, ginagawa natin.
Okay, that's good.
Pero I'm sorry to cut you off. Kasi di ba may mga nagrereklamo ng mga lugar. Dati, sinasabi, dati hindi kami binabaha. Pero ngayon, binabaha na. For example, nung last time, yung Commonwealth Avenue, well, binaha siya eh. Pero ano ba yung bilang inyong expertise na rin? Ano yung nakikita niyong problema? Bakit biglang binabaha ngayon yung mga lugar dati na hindi naman binabaha?
Okay. Marami kasing klase ng pagbaha. Andyan yung urban flooding na mention ni Mr. Kako kanina na yung drainage problem. Tapos meron urban development management na naging medyo out of control sa iba-ibang lugar. Mga natayuan yung mga branches ng rivers, baradong drainage, madaming basura, nagka-clog sa river. So lahat yan as a non-structural measures, pumipili lang kami ng focus. Katulad ng Cavite, for instance, meron siyang lowland.
Hindi binabaha yan ba?
Oo, meron din siyang upland. Eh, upland, pag malakas yung ulan doon, kahit hindi pa bumabaha sa lowland,
Correct.
yung agos ng tubig, yung mga trosong napuputol, yung mga basura, kaya ngayon, tapos kumikipot pa yung mga rivers.
Yeah.
Tsaka yung sinasabi ko nga na natabunan yung mga branches ng river dahil sa development.
Okay, so we have a project now that will give solutions. So lastly, Kaku-san, tell us when is the target completion of this project? When did it start? And what do you look for after the completion?
Yes, now ongoing project now we are starting the detailed engineer design starting from 2018. Then actually it's construction supervision and it's starting 2022. And our target is 2028 at this moment.
Okay. Probably some last few words or message to all
Mga
our viewers,
kababayan.
especially those who will be, the project will be beneficial for them. Any message to them, please?
Yes, sir. Because we are doing this project is just it's a long-term solution. So I hope people will understanding this project, and because maybe we are sometimes disturbing, but hope this will help the next generation, the people can be saving the life.
Ang akin naman ay itaas natin yung level ng preparation, yung preparedness, yung focus na baka pa nga mabaha, malubog yung ating mga
Prevention,
kabahayan.
ma'am, no?
Oo, dapat talagang handang-handa na
Tama.
tayo to the best of our abilities, katulong yung lahat ng mga partner agencies.
Right.
Tamang-tama po ngayon panahon ng tag-ulan, talagang ang mga ganitong usapan ay mahalaga. At dapat ito ay year-long nating talagang
Tsaka tama yung
tinatalakay.
sinasabi kanina ni Kakusan. It's a whole government approach, right? It's a partnership between the LGUs and the national government.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you very much. Arigato
you.
gozaimasu.
Thank you.
Thank you po sa inyong panahon dito sa Rise and Shine Pilipinas. Muli nakasama po natin si Mr. Suji Kaku at si Ms. Emelita Mimi Astares. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.